Tonight, the St. Vincent Prime Minister gives an update into the ongoing La Soufriere volcano threat. Hot 7 News gets a promising update on a baby that was discovered in a dump last year. And Vincentian teachers are being forced to choose between staying home or getting vaccinated. The St. Lucian public reacts. All this and more coming up in tonight's broadcast.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good evening. It is Thursday, the 8th of April, 2021. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. A special hello to our plug-and-play viewers via our digital antenna. I'm Rochelle Gonzalez, standing in for lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. Vincentians are on high alert as the volcanic activities associated with the La Soufriere volcano have shifted gears. A different kind of activity was recorded on Thursday and prompted an emergency press conference by the Prime Minister, along with NEMO and the UE Seismic Center.
Residents of St. Vincent and the Grenadines have been asked to prepare in the event that Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves orders an evacuation. This, as increased seismic activity at the La Soufriere volcano site has prompted St. Vincent's National Emergency Management Organization to seek further advice from volcano experts. A series of tremors of a different kind were recorded on Thursday, prompting the advice of lead scientist Professor Richard Robertson. An emergency press conference was held on Thursday to update residents of St. Vincent and the Grenadines of the findings.
Now, tremor is usually a signal that is a continuous seismic signal that I said, and it's usually associated with the movement of magma to the surface. Now, we know magma that was coming out already. What this suggests is that more magma or fresh Martian magma is on its way to the surface. In addition to the tremor, we have recorded 3 long period earthquakes during the second. These were recorded during the second batch of tremor. And again, long period earthquakes from studying volcanoes, this volcano and other volcanoes elsewhere, they are also usually associated with the movement of magma. So all indications are that there's a fresh batch of magma that is trying to come through.
Robertson says that the possibility of the volcanic activity to move from an effusive stage to an explosive one has increased significantly. Upon recommendations from NEMO and the UE Seismic Research Center, Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves made a declaration that there is a substantial prospect that a disaster will strike. While the alert remains at orange, the Prime Minister did ask residents to prepare in the event that the order is given. Neighboring islands, including St. Lucia and Barbados, have been preparing in the event that Vincentians have to be evacuated. The residents are asked to get vaccinated if they have not done so already, to facilitate the move. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
Now for a change. Here is a report that is sure to raise a smile on your faces. The baby boy that was found in a dumpster in May in 2020 in Bois Patat has turned 1 and is in great condition. Women's advocate Karen Tobia, who lent a helping hand to authorities after the baby was found, is proud to say that all is well and that the little boy has a bright future ahead of him. On Friday, the 15th of May 2020, the community of Bois Patat was left shocked, saddened, and angered after a newborn baby boy was discovered inside a grocery bag at a garbage dump site. Video footage of the discovery quickly went viral, and this was soon followed by speculation about the identity of the mother. An immediate investigation was launched by the Royal St. Lucia Police Force as well as the Child Protection Services to handle the situation. Nearly 1 year after the find, there is good news. Women's advocate Karen Tobia sprung into action after the news broke last year, and she told Hot 7 TV that her involvement in the youngster's life will continue.
For people who followed this story, you would remember that when we went into lockdown in March last year, there was a baby that was found at Bois Patat, I believe it was. The baby had been abandoned, newborn baby. And it broke everybody's hearts, I think. So in my usual way, I suppose, I came out on Facebook and I asked persons to donate so that we could make a hamper to go to the baby. The response was overwhelming. And this year, baby turned 1 year. And some people who were donated and other people who are interested will actually have been asking, Karen, have you heard anything about baby and how is baby doing? So I made a call And I am happy to say that baby is doing well.
Tobias said for a child who has had a rough start in life, his days since being discovered have been filled with love and attention. She said his future is even brighter.
I do remember that by the time we were finished with our project last year, he had been assigned to a home at that time, but we were not sure what was going to happen. However, I followed up with Child Services here, and I was told I was really happy. He is actually in pre-adoptive care right now with two loving parents who are doting on him. So baby is doing very, very well. He has not been formally adopted as yet, but that is in the pipeline, and he is doing very well and growing nicely. I'm very happy. So that made me smile, and I thought that I should share the news to see that baby is doing well now. And of course, I'm going to keep tabs on him. I will be keeping tabs on him because I am interested in how he will be doing and where he will be going. Hopefully we'll be able to do something else for him as he gets a little older. But that's where it is.
The child's mother has since been identified and has been given the help and counseling to cope with the aftermath of her actions. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has made a bold statement telling teachers ahead of Monday's reopening of schools that they should have a government-approved COVID-19 vaccine or have been tested for the virus. Otherwise, they would be asked to leave the compound. Gonsalves made the announcement on a radio program where he continued to defend his government's vaccination or test policy for public sector workers. Under the policy, all employees of the central government or statutory entities are required to submit their COVID-19 vaccination report or be tested up to once every 2 weeks for the virus. Meanwhile, in a memo to principals of educational institutions on Wednesday, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Michael Burke, noted that the government, through a March 31, 2021 memorandum, has communicated a policy on vaccination and testing of the public sector workers. He said that consistent with the policy position of the government, all teachers and ancillary staff are required to submit to the Ministry of Education through their respective principal a copy of their vaccination card or recent COVID-19 rapid antigen test results no later than 1:30 p.m. on April 9, 2021. Gonsalves revealed that 331 teachers, or 17% of the nation's educators, have taken the vaccine. Still on the topic, in light of Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves' ultimatum to educators in the sister isle of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, warning them that they should have a government-approved COVID-19 vaccine or have been tested for the virus, otherwise they would be asked to leave the compound, the Hot 7 team took to the streets right here in St. Lucia to find out whether they think it is a step too far in asking teachers to make such a choice. Here is what you, the public, had to say.
Well, me, I honestly think you have a freedom of choice. Vaccine or no school, we need to keep our school, but yet still you have to give people the choice of having a vaccine. In generally speaking, we are always given freedom of choice in every situation. So human beings have a right, especially when you're an adult, you should decide what's best for yourself.
I'm a mother of two beautiful young ladies, and let me tell you that if it's that they have to do, you have to do it. If you have to take it to teach our kids, and remember, we cannot do without teachers. So my message to the teachers, according to your health situation, you love your kids, they're your own, they're like your own. Take the vaccine to better yourself.
Well, I think it's a matter of choice. If the teachers want to take it, they should not allow the teachers to force and take the vaccine. All right?
I read about that a long time ago, and now I see it taking place. And I telling you that, you see that starting out that vaccine, and people that don't want to do that vaccine, a lot of opportunity will be cut away from them. And that's the beginning of the end.
Someone should have a choice in taking the vaccine. It's up to you, especially now we know there are so many side effects. Supposing a teacher is already have complications and she take that that vaccine, what can happen? They're supposed to give them a choice if you want to take it. And sometimes you in that ministry for 20-something years and you don't want to take, so that means you lose 27 years of service. It's not fair. It's really not fair.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us because still to come, a Grand Riviere resident fears for the safety of her property. Michael Chasney refuses to comment on a fire that ravaged a business place at the Gablewoods Mall on Wednesday afternoon. And a medical professional tells how she turned to farming as a result of COVID-19.